The next article I wanted to talk about is about a guy named Stu Peters. Now, this guy has a woman named Deanna Lorraine on his channel all the time. I guess they're close friends or something like that. If you guys are unfamiliar with Deanna Lorraine, she worked for InfoWars for a while, worked for Alex Jones, and she was actually heavily involved in the January 6th stuff. I don't know. She didn't get arrested for anything that she did while she was there, as far as I know. But the day after January 6th, everybody was complaining about the fact that it was a coup attempt and drawing attention to the fact that it was a disgusting, ugly event that was a signal that democracy was in dire straits in the U.S., but not Deanna Lorraine. Deanna Lorraine was out there defending the acts that took place on January 6th, bizarrely, when it wasn't popular to do so. So that's who Deanna Lorraine is. And Stu Peters has seemingly made a friend out of her, so that's nice, I guess. Well, they had some interesting things to say to each other on a recent episode of Stu Peters' show, so let's give this a listen and see what old Stu had to say for himself.
I wouldn't be surprised if this so-called cold, the virus, the flu that I have right now was a targeted attack on me. Do you speculate that some of that might be going on as well?
A targeted attack?
Yeah, I mean...
She doesn't even seem to believe this fully at this immediate moment. I don't know.
Absolutely, like the bioweapon...
This is funny.
A targeted attack?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like the bioweapon being released on you, this sociopath, Tony Fauci, when he chimerically engineered this taxpayer-funded, lab-originated, intentionally released Wuhan, China virus.
Just throw in every buzzword you can come up with. What the fuck, dude? Is he even using the word chimeric correctly in that context? I'm not 100% convinced he is.
That can probably be used against people automatically. I mean, people, Republicans, conservatives, talk show host people being targeted with this virus, right? I mean, don't you think? So they can paint paint the picture about, oh, well, Stu Peters got the coronavirus. He did it to himself because he's not vaccinated.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God, dude. This guy is so self-centered. He thinks that the world revolves around him. Like, people really give a shit what Stu Peters is saying and doing. They care so much that they're going to go out of their way to infect him with a cold. He hasn't admitted that it's COVID, so I'm just calling it a cold. He thinks people are coming out to infect him with a cold because they don't like him. Give me a fucking break, dude. You are, like, way too full of yourself. This is hilarious.
He did it to himself because he's not vaccinated.
Right. Exactly. No, 100%. I mean, we talked about...
Well, I guess Deanna Lorraine is 100% in on this conspiracy theory now. And by the way, that's exactly what this is. This is a full-blown conspiracy theory. They're going around infecting people with an illness because they don't fucking like them. Give me a break.
Exactly. No, 100%. I mean, we talked about last week with the World Economic Forum launching this bubble gun that you just point a gun basically and someone gets a vaccine.
Okay, I have no idea how that would work. I haven't heard a word about that. I am extremely skeptical that this technology even exists or that it's even being worked on. In mid-September 2021, Deanna Lorraine actually put out a video, which we're going to be talking about. It was with Stu Peters again, where she claims that they're trying to lace your salad with the vaccine, which is completely, patently absurd. There is some scientific basis to the idea that you can create plants that have the modifications necessary to effectively act as a vaccine if you wanted. But for one thing, that would take years, maybe decades, to successfully create. And for another thing, why would you? What would the point be? Why would you even give a shit? Just give people the shot if they want it. It's completely conspiratorial to the core. And this bubble gun thing kind of strikes me as the same. Just a conspiracy theory. Let's keep listening.
I'm sure that they have the power to, target somebody to get COVID. All of the very prominent Republicans and people who have been outspoken against vaccines, pastors, etc., suddenly they come down with a bad case of COVID and it makes the news. Anti-vaxxer, anti-masker pastor comes down with COVID. It's all too suspicious. And I absolutely think people are being targeted.
Well, you don't think that maybe it could be because there's a worldwide pandemic happening right now, and these poor fools refuse to get vaccinated or wear masks or social distance or take any basic precautions, you don't think that might be the cause of their infection? It has to be a conspiracy. There's no natural explanation for this. Is Occam's razor just completely dead at this point? You're not even taking that into consideration? What the fuck is going on with these people?
Absolutely think people are being targeted.
Well, they're going to have to try harder than this, because this thing, whatever I have, is weak as hell.
You're stronger than it, that's for sure.
I got a little bit of a stuffy nose now and a little bit of a scratchy throat. Whoop-de-doo.
Give me a fucking break, dude. This is ridiculous. This guy is so self-centered that he really believes that there are some government agents out there that felt that he was important enough to infect with an illness. That is not where the madness ends, though. This clip came out early May 2021. This was, once again, Deanna Lorraine and Stu Peters. Give this a listen.
Those that tell me that I am a raging lunatic, those that tell me, what science do you have to be giving this advice? It's a shame and it's scary that you have a platform and you're telling people to wait on this vaccine.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely agree. You don't have any science on your side currently to be making the claims that you're making about all kinds of bizarre shit. It's not just vaccine hesitancy from him. It is a lot of weird shit. The science is not on his side. And it is extremely irresponsible of him to go on there and spread his conspiracy theories to a wide audience. So, yeah, I agree with your detractors, Stu Peters.
Those people are going to be the ones that end up going to get the injection.
Yeah, he's describing me. So, yeah, I agreed. I definitely criticize him for all of that stuff before. And, yeah, I got the injection. So let's hear. Let's hear what he has to say about me.
Those people will be the ones that end up falling over and dying.
Okay, well, this was 8 months ago when I got my first vaccine dose, and I'm still kicking. So I guess that, this clip he created was from back in May. In fact, I think that's around the time I got my vaccine dose. So nothing's happened to me yet. Is it ever going to happen? I mean, I remember a time when people seemed to believe that by the end of the flu season, we would be dead after taking the vaccine. But guess what? Nothing fucking happened except for one thing. I'm COVID-free, and I have been since the very beginning. How about that shit? You're not COVID-free.
And that sample group of people, we will be in a better place without them. Sadly, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably get kicked off the air for saying that.
Oh, yeah, right. Like you would get kicked off the air for saying something like that. That is the exact type of thing that his network believes in, and the exact reason they invited him on as a host to say in the first fucking place. This exact type of thing. Of course he's not getting kicked off the air. This is all just part of his persecution complex. It's all coming up once again.
But you know what? I will never lie. I will never lie on this platform, and that's just the truth. Deanna Lorraine, shots fired.
I felt guilty for thinking that last night, but I was thinking maybe Darwin's theory is true.
Sadly, Darwin's theory is true. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we now know that this disease is targeting Republicans. I take no solace in that fact. I take no joy in that. This is a highly partisan virus at this point. The people that are dying from this are mostly Republicans because they refuse to wear masks. They refuse to vaccinate or social distance or take any basic precautions, even hand washing, they seem to be against. I'm sad that people are dying of a preventable disease. I do not want this. I want people to be responsible and pull it together and get a free vaccine. It is free. Just go get it, and you will be safer. We will be safer as a society. As a result, right now, we can see, I don't remember exactly what the numbers are, so I don't want to quote them, but I will tell you, the data shows more Republicans are dying than Democrats. Like I said, I don't take solace in that fact. I don't want anybody to die, but they're losing voters. They are losing voters by the day because of their stupid, dangerous decisions. Darwin's theory of evolution is a fact, as well as a theory. That doesn't really work to your benefit as you think, Deanna Lorraine. What's even more sad is the fact that Stu Peters seems to be demonizing Anthony Fauci for some bizarre reason. Like, he's fixated on this guy. Give this one a listen. This is from mid-November 2021, not that long ago.
No, in a one-word answer, should Fauci be arrested?
Absolutely. My attitude is show some leadership and get a national petition going to literally have him arrested for crimes against humanity.
By the way, the guy talking right now is Bobby Pitton, I believe. Bobby Pitton. He is a Republican candidate for office. I don't think he's won any elections yet. Not 100% on that, but he's definitely a candidate. Let's keep listening.
Arrest him under that. Have him prove that he didn't commit crimes against humanity.
Oh, I love it. Completely reverse the burden of proof. How about that? This guy obviously doesn't understand how the legal system works at all. You remember those words? What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Innocent until proven guilty. That's it. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, how did you forget that shit, Mr. Bobby Pitton, or whatever the fuck? That is the basis of our entire legal system. Innocent until proven guilty. You're saying arrest him and make him prove he didn't do something illegal? Are you fucking kidding me? That is so ass backwards, I don't even know where to go with it. Hang on, let me look this guy up, because I don't remember if he's a candidate or if he's an actual representative already. He's running for election for U.S. Senate to represent Illinois. He declared candidacy for the 2022 election, so he hasn't actually taken part in an election yet. He's expressed his intentions to and filed the paperwork, and he's going to be running. The next election is November 8th, 2022. So that's when we can expect this guy to be running. Keep a lookout for that. If you live in Illinois, make sure you vote against this guy. Needless to say, Stu Peters has some kind of weird fixation on Tony Fauci. I have no clue why he's so obsessed with him. But Bobby Pitton or Bobby Pitton or whatever, I guess he just had him on to kind of feed his persecution complex about how evil Tony Fauci is. Fucking bizarre. This next clip I wanted to watch came out mid-September 2021. This one was with Deanna Lorraine and Stu Peters, and it shows their history of conspiracy theories. Check this clip out.
Now, what they're trying to do is sneak the COVID vaccine in your salads.
Okay, well, it seems like if that's what they were trying to do, if they're trying to sneak it into your salads, seems to me like they wouldn't have articles about it out there, right? They would try to suppress articles or just not say a fucking word to anybody about it. So they're not really trying to sneak anything anywhere. And honestly, I don't know if a salad would be the best thing to sneak it into anyways. Salads aren't terribly popular in the US. I would say sneak it into a candy bar first, but that's just me. If I were a scientist trying to sneak it anywhere, I think it'd be in a candy bar. Anyway, let's keep listening.
Now they're trying to grow. I can't even believe we're talking about this right now. I can't believe this world we're living in, but they're trying to grow spinach and lettuce and other leafy greens with mRNA vaccine inside of those leaves.
Now, I don't think anybody's actually trying to do that. As far as I know, they're not trying to do that. I can tell you, though, there are a lot of pop science websites out there that like to put articles out that aren't really fully connected to reality. Like they just have these weird ideas about things that they could do or things that they want to do, but aren't actually being done. And then they kind of exaggerate it and build it up and make it seem like it's happening right now, right in front of our eyes. We've been hearing about an Alzheimer's disease cure for like a really long time. And the Alzheimer's disease cure is on its way, but it's not here. If you read these pop science websites, you would be forgiven for thinking that it is here already, that we've gotten the disease beat, that we have for a long time. That's the thing about these pop science websites. Don't read these pop science websites. Go to these scientific studies and see what they have to say. The websites are pretty much worthless. And that's what Deanna Lorraine was looking at here, as far as I can tell. I remember talking about this like a few months ago, and I looked it up, and that's what it was. It was just an article on some pop science website. Yeah, I found the exact website. It's WGNTV.com. I've never heard of this place before. What is this? WGN9. Let me look it up. Hold on. Wait, it looks like it's like some Chicago local newspaper or something. It's an independent television station licensed in Chicago, Illinois. Okay. Weird. Well, they aren't actually trying to grow plants that have the vaccine in them, as far as I know. I haven't heard a fucking word about that from anybody, any scientific studies at all to indicate that's what they're working on. This is pretty much the only website that talks about it, this WGNTV.com website. There were a couple of other websites that mentioned it in passing, seemingly, but it's just nonsense. Wait for the scientific studies. And even if it was real, it would take a long fucking time to get there. And it would be useless anyways, even if we did get there. So don't buy into this pop science shit. Keep listening.
Can't even believe we're talking about this right now. I can't believe this world we're living in, but they're trying to grow spinach and lettuce and other leafy greens with mRNA vaccine inside of those leaves.
No.
So that you can just consume your salad and you can get your daily, your yearly, or now it's about probably 3 times a year COVID vaccine.
Why would they even do that? I don't understand. We only need it like once every 6 months or so. Currently is what it looks like. We're not even 100% sure that that's what it is. So you're saying we want to eat a salad once every 6 months? I mean, I guess that would probably line up with how often I eat salads, but it seems kind of fucking stupid to me. Why don't I just go get the shot and then come home? Like, simple as that. This is nonsense. Like, nothing about this idea makes any sense at all. Why would they even do this?
In your salad. And I think it's really funny because when you read these articles, which you can look up, it's trending today, look up this vaccines in your salad situation, because they say in the article, we know that it's a really hard subject, vaccines. And we know that some people have a really hard time. They're afraid of needles, or they're this inconvenience in going to get your vaccine. Well, now we're going to make it possible for you to just get your vaccine in your salad.
They would never honestly probably do this. They would just make a pill, right? And they are working on a COVID-19 like pill where you can get cured from it through a pill or whatever. They've been working on that for a while. Why would they put it in a salad? This is fucking ridiculous from beginning to end.
Like, that's as if that is the reason why people are hesitant to get the vaccine and don't want the vaccine.
Well, actually it is. There was a very high number of people who have refused to get vaccinated, not because they're anti-vax, but because they're afraid of needles. That's actually very true. And that's why the pill would be so useful. I mean, the pill, I think Pfizer was working on the pill not long ago. I haven't heard anything about it recently, like in the past, month or something, but as far as I know, they're still working on it. So I would love to see the progress on that. But I honestly have no idea why they would put it in a salad. Getting it out of injection form would be fantastic, though, because there is a lot of needle hesitancy.
Just because I don't feel like going to a doctor or nurse or Walgreens, or because I'm afraid of needles. No, that's not the reason why most people do not want this BS vaccine. Because we don't want it, it's harmful, and we don't want that in our body.
It is, actually. There's a high percentage of people who are afraid of needles, and then a very small percentage of people like Deanna Lorraine or Stu Peters who are under the impression that it's like some kind of a mind control thing. The conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theorists are a very small segment of the population, actually. They're just the loudest. That's the problem. They're just the loudest people around. A high number of people who haven't gotten it so far is actually because they don't like needles. There is a very large percentage that is accounted for with that. But, none of this matters. Like, none of these facts matter to people like this. Facts are irrelevant. What matters is owning the libs, destroying your enemies, hating the other, an us versus them mentality, one of the hallmarks of a cult. Something I've been talking about on my channel since day one, basically. Once you realize that is the angle, the perspective that they view things from, owning the libs, it actually gives you predictive power. You can kind of figure out what their next moves are going to be based on that. You can figure out what propaganda techniques they're going to use and what they're going to say next to destroy their enemies, to own the libs. Once you realize that's what it's all about and basically nothing else, you can use it to your advantage.